Oh yeah, we should see if we can do this quick. Morning, y'all. What's up, Ons? I already have a job lined up. I start the 17th. Morning, MCAB. I want to make, I'm going to try to submit a pull request to this tool so links are clickable in the terminal. Twitch dash version. Twitch TUI. All right. Man, my allergies are bad. I might need to go take allergy meds. Let's see here. I should have 2 browser windows. Yeah. Twitch TUI. Okay, so it looks like that's a bot. 27 days ago. Let's see if there's anything about links. Make links clickable. Yeah. This is definitely AI. Maybe. All right, let's I want to try this quick. We're gonna copy this. Side quest. Up, git clone, Twitch TUI. And we're gonna spin up Claude's probably gonna help us a lot here. Where might we find this? UI, components, chat. Rust Analyzer quit. It's annoying. LSP start Rust Analyzer. What does that message say? LSP log. Oh, I don't have it installed. Weird. Okay, we can do that. That's okay. Mason, Rust, Mason, Rust Analyzer. Saw that. It's true. Nightshade dude has been lurking from day one. Oh man. All right, I need to go blow my nose like horribly. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Windows, Mac, or Linux. I have a MacBook, and I just use Mac because that's what I have, and I don't feel like installing Linux on it, and just OS X is good enough. Is there a reason why I see so many use Mac even though they're expensive as fuck? Well, I would wager most companies are providing employed developers with MacBooks, and a MacBook for a tech company is pennies. All right, let's do a old. All right, so we have a message, which is a ref cell of a core config, and it's a reference counted ref cell. Is a ref cell kind of like a mutex in Rust? I forget that. Is a ref cell similar to a thread local mutex in Rust? No, ref cell is not similar. Single, yeah, I just asked if it was single threaded. Borrow checking. Can there only be one? There surely there can be only one mutable reference at once, right? So it's like a read. Is it more like a read-write lock? Is it more like a single-threaded read-write lock? Yes. Okay. Okay. I always get these mixed up. All right, so we've got a core config, which is this thing. And we've got a ref cell, a reference counted ref cell. I just want to find where we render the message and the text for the message. So shared message. No, not shared core config. Hold on, let's quit out of this. I think my tree sitter stuff got fucked up because I installed that. UI, components, chat. We go to shared message. There we go. So a shared messages is a reference counted ref cell of a vector, a DQ vector of message data. Message data has time sent, author, system, payload. So where do we end up rendering this? Context, impl context, draw. So we're implementing draw for, we're implementing context for, what is my toggle tree sitter context? Impl context. Aren't we implementing? Okay, whatever. Draw takes itself and a mutable frame. Layout, sure. This is fine. I I slept in this morning. Last night was the first good night of sleep I've had in a hot minute. And I turned off my alarm last night. I took a sleep aid in the form of THC last night, and I decided to turn off my my alarm to try to take advantage of trying to get some good sleep. I wouldn't say I know Rust that well, but I can certainly read Rust, and I could come back. Like, I've written a bit of Rust in the past, and it's very, like, Rust is similar to OCaml, and like the language semantic, the syntax semantics, and some language semantics in the type system. So I could come back up to speed on like writing Rust pretty quickly. Unemployed friend on a Thursday night vibes. Goddamn right, brother. All right, I just want to see where we write out. I want to see what their abstraction is for writing terminal. Clear messages, clean up, open stream, event. It might be this thing here. Whatever this chat type is, probably is rendering this event. And the event is probably going to be like a input. Yeah, okay. If let event key. Yeah, is focus, return. Okay, let's go to this thing, chat widget. There's probably some sort of draw in here, if I had to guess. Draw, there it is. Look at that. This is my first time in this code base, by the way. I haven't read Rust code for over a year. Feeling pretty good about this right now. Unemployed. I think I'm here after so many days of. I left Vercel last Friday. I accepted a new job that starts on the 17th of November, so I have some downtime. But last Friday was my last day at Vercel. So just gotta. Dude, you wrote your new company name in your Git configuration, pushed it to GitHub. I was wondering if anybody would catch that. That's a good pick, Bishal. I didn't think anybody would catch it that quickly. All right, so we're gonna draw. We take a frame. The chunk. We wanted to find the event. Yeah, so this is where we get. Yeah. This makes sense. Focused, chat input. So there's another. We don't want chat input. Search input. So I think the chat input would be like this thing down here, right? That's probably what that's talking about. Good morning, MS. How fast can you pick up a new language? I could probably jump into an existing code base of most languages and like get a PR out in a single day. And I think I could start being productive in most languages like in a week, and then I could become proficient. Well, I don't know what I could become capable in a language probably in like 2 to 3 weeks, and then probably like proficient in a language over like 6 months. At the end of the day, like, it's all kind of the same. Like, all the patterns you see in one programming language, even though like different, like Rust is so different than TypeScript, but like at the end of the day, the patterns are like all kind of the same. Like software all kind of has to work like the same way, right? Like you get to a point where you just know like, oh, like it has to, for what it's doing, there's only so many ways this could be implemented, and it has to be at some place. Like when I dove into this code base, like I knew at some place it had to be getting input events from the keyboard and rendering it to a screen. So that's just what I looked for, and that's what we found here, right? Like, I mean, I do have a lot of years of experience at this point. I'm going into my 13th year professionally, and then I've been writing code since I was 12. If I was born in 1993 and I learned to code at age 12, and the year is 2025. How long have I been coding? Shit, chat. Damn, I didn't need to see that number today. Bruh. $20 years. That's insane. I did. I didn't code a lot. Like, I learned to code when I was 12. I would have been in seventh grade. I would have been in seventh grade, and me and my best friend Josh, we needed an elective, and maybe, was it Josh? Maybe it was my friend Brett. I think it was Brett. One of my childhood best friends. We needed electives in seventh grade, and there was a Visual Basic 6 course, like a programming course, intro to programming, as an elective, and we took it. We just wanted to dick around on computers and like play the old Flash games, right? But then I took that class and I learned Visual Basic 6, and it like something just clicked in my brain, and like I got hooked. So I wrote Visual Basic 6 as my first programming language. And then that same year, I took a web design course and like learned HTML, CSS, and like MySpace back then was huge, and like you could edit like all the CSS and stuff for MySpace. So like I did that and did like CSS for all my friends, and then I learned JavaScript a little bit. Nothing serious. And like at this time, like I'm not a good programmer by any means. Like I hardly know what I'm doing. But I spent the next couple of years fucking around with JavaScript, and just learning more and more programming. And then when I get to high school, I started playing World of Warcraft a lot, and I picked up Lua to start writing World of Warcraft mods and plugins or extensions. I don't remember what they called it, but that was all in Lua. So I wrote a bunch of Lua in high school for World of Warcraft add-ons, and just kept writing JavaScript and Lua. Picked up like a little bit of PHP, just for building websites and like the LAMP stack and stuff. And then when I went to college, I learned Java, and my college education fell apart, but I got hired at State Farm as an intern, and I started doing enterprise Java and front-end JavaScript. And then I learned React in 2014 for a project at State Farm, and the rest is history. Am I good at math? I have a horrible math education. I think I could be good at math, but my confidence in math is very, very low. That's something I would like to go back and just like, I would like to go back through like middle school, high school, and college mathematics on my own time at some point, because my confidence in that stuff is like so low. That's UNC status. You can write decades in your experience now. Damn, I started with Visual Basic 6.2. Let's go. I don't think I'm very, like, I think I'm smart and capable, and I work hard and I'm determined, but I don't think I'm like above average intelligence or anything. Have you done any data structures and algorithms? I did not get a formal education in data structures and algorithms. I have I've learned in my own time. I've managed to largely avoid DSA interviews over the years, but like nowadays I just think data structures and algorithms are cool and interesting and part of the job. And like when you get to use, like when I did domain search, like getting to use a Bloom filter for the first time, like that was super cool. Like I've had a couple opportunities to use some specialized like skip lists I've had a real use case for over the years, min and max heaps. But like I never, like if I had to whip out and implement like a min or max heap right now, there's no world where I would do that. Like I couldn't do that right now. But like I know the properties of it, and I know I could just go look up a reference implementation, and like I know when I need to look for data structures and algorithms, and I know like the properties of like your typical stuff. What would be your best advice for someone new? Just start building stuff, man. Just build stuff you think is cool, using tech that you think is cool. Even if you have no idea how to do it, just struggle through it, because the best learning happens when you struggle through learning something you're interested in. Do you know how to reverse a linked list? I'm sure I could figure it out, but I don't know the regurgitated answer off the top of my head. All right, let's get this. I want to get back to the recipe app if we can. I'm gonna time box this for 20 more minutes. I want to try. All right, keys. Event input. This is the chat widget. Chat input. I don't want the chat input. I want like the window. Following widget. The following widget might be. That's not it. It's messages. So that just returns that. Config.borrow.front end. What is that? How everything looks to the user. View command, title shown, badges theme, blinking cursor, Twitch emotes. Title shown. What does this implement? Is there a draw in here? Impl for border, palette. Impl front end convert. That's not what we want. At some point, messages has to get rendered. Direction, margin, messages, here we go. If we're gonna truncate, okay, we get the messages. for message, final messages, we create this list, new block, wraps the list in a custom block widget, the block parameter. Okay. What is final messages? It's a list item with a generic parameter. That's fine. List item text. Okay, so we have this text item. All right, so I'm guessing this text element. Oh, this is in Ratatouille. Okay, so they're using Ratatouille. I've never used Ratatouille, but I know that Ratatouille is a Rust crate for building Touies. So what we probably want to look at is Ratatouille links. Support styling is a hyperlink. Mm-hmm. $902. Don't swallow. Oh no. This is exactly what we want right here. All right, so there must be a span component that controls this styling for hyperlinks in Ratatouille. That's my current working assumption. I don't know much about ANSI codes other than you can like send them out on standard out to the terminal, and the terminal should know how to render them. What is this guy doing here? Let's look at this again. In the terminal code that increases with has a series of 2 character chunks. All right, so this is two string charge chunks into an iterator, iterate over it. We get an index and 2 characters at a time. We collect that into a string. All right, that's the magic right here. All right, so this guy must. Oh yeah, he wrote rustlings. Should be part of it. Damn, look at this. Everybody wants this. All right, this might be, I might be in over my head. Am I right in thinking Effect 4.0 is snapshot released on NPM? I think I caught Michael. I think Michael said that in chat or like one of their videos recently. I just haven't seen it yet. Ratatouille doesn't currently support rendering links into the terminal with OSE, so even if we did, we can't correctly render them. Fuck. That's funny. This is exactly the same library. This is so... OpenAI... Don't instruct the model to use citations so it never emits them. Further, Ratatouille doesn't currently support rendering links to the terminal. So, like, even Codex is being limited by this. Alright, we're gonna abandon this side quest because I do not... This is a bigger problem than I thought it was. I was hoping it was going to be just Twitch Tui, but it's actually Ratatouille, and that's a bigger problem and way beyond my expertise. But hey, we got to read some Rust code this morning, so yeah, you know. So there's that. Little side quest. Alright, this garbage here. Let's get Claude launched up. Let's change back into mulroy.recipes and get Claude continue. Claude was down earlier. Claude still might be down. Let me try logging in again. Is Claude down? Why? What? What did we do last? Is it working? Okay, we're working, we're cooking. All right. So let's clear, and we're gonna do this, and then we had Federico help us yesterday, and we're going to grab this, and we're going to say update at ID to follow the patterns and types in this code. There we go. Dang, dude. My Ember mug is cooked. Battery dies in like 35 minutes now. I guess I got like a 3-year run out of it, but it's still for what they cost, should do better. Now that you have time, will you install Arch? No. If I didn't have the MacBook that I stream on is my MacBook from 2 jobs ago that they let me keep. The company, it was a startup that failed, and they let us keep our MacBooks. If I didn't have this MacBook, I have an X1 Carbon that I have currently Pop OS on. I would probably put Omarchi on, but I have this, so it's just easier to use this. All right, let's see if it figured out the type errors here. Good, it did. So this is a schema extension. It takes prefixed S, extends schema, any, no context, sure. Takes a P that extends string, yep. It's a function that takes an S and a schema of schema type S. Pulls the type schema from it. The prefix is the P, the string. We take a schema, we transform it. Hold on, I want to check something else too. Let's do a dot update quick. Oh, we got a doggo update. Let's go. Let's update this stuff. And then let's go to theme, color scheme. I think it's this guy right here. I think the semantic highlighting for TypeScript and effect looks kind of bad, if I recall. I want to see if this changes what our UI, our syntax highlighting looks like over here. Let's go ahead and do. That's not what I want. It was an ID. Is this any different? Yeah, like that's yellow. Like I hate, there's so much more yellow. If you, yeah, I don't want semantic highlighting on for this. In fact, I could just turn it off for TypeScript. We'll do that. We'll go into config, and then we can do we would have to do that with like a, never mind, I don't care, we're just leaving it off. I've had it off for so long. I don't need this.
Functions describe the world.
All right, let's go in here and we'll say schema.ts, and we'll write that, and we'll bump that over. We'll delete that, paste that over here. Why didn't that take that? We'll take that, paste that in over there. We don't need pipe. We can export that. And we can do, we might be able to change some of this. Thank you for the follow, Ivan. Appreciate you. We'll bring that in. We can do const. Oh, no, we can't. That's fine. I'll use a namespace. I don't care. We can even do a namespace with this. I know namespaces are taboo sometimes, but we're just going to rock with it. Actually, no, we'll be fine there. Whatever. Namespace shared. We don't need domain. I can probably change this to ULID, and this will be branded, and I don't think we need this domain. So prefixed takes a schema and a string. Where's from? What do we do with from? Okay. What does this become? I don't think we need this domain thing. Do we use this anywhere? No. I think we can get rid of that. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And then ULID becomes branded ULID. Do that. Do that. That. All right, so we're there, and then we want to this is still a schema, right? So we can all right, let's just start with, let's do like a recipe ID const, we'll say const recipe ID symbol, and we'll say this is going to be a symbol dot for, and this is going to be recipe ID. And then we're going to copy this, and it's going to be a type. And this is just going to be, we can see this is a unique symbol. And we'll say is equal to type of recipe ID symbol, not that. And then we can say recipe ID schema is going to be this schema. We get rid of this, and then this will be pipe branded ULID, and then our recipe ID symbol. This needs to be schema.brand. Let's comment these out for a second. Delete those. We can comment this out. Bring this down here. I don't think we need that. Let's make this ULID. Just for consistency's sake. That's fine. I wonder if I can just take this and we can do this. Okay. And then when we make our recipe ID schema, this takes we almost got the devx here down. So we need to brand the ULID. And so we can do like a, let's do a namespace, and we'll do namespace ulid. And in here, we'll do, take this, put that in there. This will be, we'll do, that. And this will be schema. And we can do this. Oh, come on. That's annoying. I'll just make that lowercase. Actually, you know what? I want to make that as S. What up, Buffy? What up, Colin? All right. Branded ULID. Yeah. I guess we could also do something like this. Const s equals schema. Is this gonna work? No. Whatever. We'll keep it as S. Where were we? Somewhere in here. Yeah. And then we can close this side. I can't get away from domains. Export type equals type of schema dot type. Great. Dot schema. So this really wants, let's say we have a export const make here, and this is going to take a string. This will take a prefix, which we'll type this as prefix, and then we'll return this as schema.make prefix. And then we'll say this is going to need a generic prefix extends string. And we can do in here branded ulid.make. And that needs an extra closing. There we go. And then if we make a recipe, so let's come down, let's center and say we have this underscore, let's turn on 2/, and this is going to be id.make, id.recipe.make. So this should really come out as we almost have the type we want. We're almost there. Yeah, my Vercel account got fixed. My account got feature flagged into a feature that I couldn't turn off, and it was trying to redirect me to a new version of the dashboard. And because I wasn't actually an employee anymore, it was getting in a weird state, and I couldn't turn the feature flag off myself. Yeah. So the brand that comes in here, let's see if I make this out of band again. We'll say recipe ID symbol. And this is going to be a unique symbol. Unique symbol. Let me take that, changing that recipe ID symbol. All right, so that is the brand we want. I mean, really, we could make this a string too. Listen, I might get to write some Rust, Nightshade dude. I might, I'll have an opportunity if I want, and which I'm probably going to try to do. Actually, it'll be under my stars. Do I know how to start it? Well, let's go start now. Let's go get rid of that worker D. Worker D's nuts. Oops. They're working on writing bindings to Rust. Author. Start working on. Here we go. So I'm very excited about the potential to work on this a little bit. This is huge for worker D. All right, let's get this working here. Branded ULID. This almost needs like the second. Like, what if we do? I just do recipe ID. Is this gonna be fine? I'm kind of over it. Yeah, we need to be able to make a recipe ID. which is why in this example, Federico did this. That's why. So he could brand things. So it would be like, let's just say const recipe ID. In fact, we can just use namespaces. I don't care. Namespace recipe ID. And we can come in here and do something similar where we can say export const ID is going to equal, it'll be this thing. In fact, we can just yoink this, put that there. In fact, we don't even need that. We can take this, this will be there. Get rid of that. That's the ID. And then we can say, we don't even need to export that. We'll get rid of this. And we'll say, export const schema is equal to this part. Paste that there. We can delete this. Comment this out for now. Whatever, well, what is this upset about? I'm missing syntax somewhere up above. Looks like I'm missing. The FFI goes hard on this Cloudflare. Yeah. I'm excited. All right, where is this upset at? I have a... I'm missing a paren. Is it here? Oh, right here. There we go. And this would actually be ID. So if I go to make that's going to type error. So this would need, I think I would have to do, oh dude, I kind of like hate this. Can I id.make? So this gets that ID. And it wants, when we make this schema, we return the schema of the input. I'm not doing domain stuff at the new company now. I am going to be working on workers and the developer platform. And making all the APIs and dashboard and UX and DX really good. Because this becomes, how does this work? It takes the schema.ast and this wants, wait, hold on. How do we have this over here? id.make domain ID. Schema. Yeah, domain. Maybe we don't need to brand ULID. Maybe that's overcomplicating it. Yeah, no problem, Sentient. I'm very new to their platform too, so it's going to be a learning experience. I'm really excited about making durable objects really good, or getting to help work on that. It's like I want this is the UX I want right here, basically. Argument type string is not assignable to parameter string and brand recipe ID. Because it needs, if I make this encoded, then that works. And then what does this become? Did that do what I just wanted? And I don't think I'm using branded ULID. So we can get rid of that. Get rid of this. Did I just get the UX I wanted? That looks like what we wanted. And what happens if I put branded ULID dot schema here? That's almost what we want. I mean, this is basically what we want, actually. And we don't need the branded ULID part. Like, that's unnecessary. Because we can do, we can just do s.ulid. We brand, and I can even get more type safety here because we can do this. Oh, but this is, we do need this to be branded. This needs to be branded. I'm wrong. Ah, damn it. We were close. Crispy, would you ask your name things? And usually I struggle with finding the right name for a project setup. Every time when I start a project, I spend way too on the right name. Just like literally do this. Go to AI, be like Claude, you know, and say I am building a recipe app. I'm building an app for sharing, uploading, and managing recipes for my family, and I give me 5 names for the app. Our last name is Mulroy. Yeah, honestly, just give it a random, like, literally you could do, like, MD5. What is it? MD5. Why can't I hash that? How the fuck do I use this? Yeah, just come up with random slugs, right? I don't know why MD5 is D5. Foo. There we go. Like literally just come up with a unique identifier. Be like project, you know, that until you have a good name. Dude, why is this thing taking hours to come up with names? Come on, Claude. All right. I'm over this. I've spent too much time on this. I don't care anymore. We're just going to delete this. We're going to go in here. We're going to do this the easy way. Because I don't care. We need a... Get rid of this. Actually, I changed my mind. I do want this. All right, so we have a string and a branded, and to make this thing, gonna name my child SHA-256. Hell yeah. Type string is not. How the hell did I do this in other projects? Like, I've definitely done this before. I should have just followed the pattern that Federico gave me, which is up here. So we just don't expose some of this stuff. And we need I don't even know if this is what we need. It's like it's annoying that I can't take this and just do this. I really want it to take this. It's so close to having the right DX.
Speaks the gospel of the camel. I speak the gospel of
Thank
the
you, Nava.
dunes.
Super appreciate you.
Sand is in my veins. Come ride a camel with me.
So we're transforming when we encode it. We want to, like, that is a, what can this do? Anything? All right, so this is saying it's going from this template literal to this. So when we encode it, the encoded version is the from value. Yeah. And this is that. When we decode it, I really just want to, when I make, I want to take the encoded S and I want to do, we have the schema schema dot encode sync schema. What happens if I do input? No, dot. What does this give me? Unknown. Validate sync. And what's this give me? Unknown. That's not what we want. So we're going from this. Oh God, this is so confusing. Dude, schema confuses me all the time. I can't wait for schema 4. Really, let's try rewriting this. Let's write another, let's say make 2, right? And we want make 2 to take a, I want input, throw to do. This is going to be type of S extends schema, no context. So if we're looking at what S is a schema, and my brain's melting. Schema dot it's like we have prefix in here, so it would be like prefix. And what does this end up looking like? String. And really, it's more like prefix underscore schema dot type of S. Okay, so if we do that, we should be able to let's say make 2. What does this want now? Argument of type string is not. This would end up being we need a way to make a ULID, right? So if we did like s dot ULID dot, I might need to do that. This is a string. So once like that branded, what is the type of ULID? Type equals schema dot type of s dot ULID dot type. That is a string. What about encoded? Is that also a string? Yeah, so it's just string. So we never, okay, that's okay. That's okay. We just don't want to brand. Will that work? Is that any different? This comes out as any. What if this just becomes make? String and brand ID. That looks like what we want. Right? It doesn't enforce that. Let's try one other thing. I'd be curious to see if it messes up if we do. It's almost what I want. I mean, this is close. This is okay, I think. Branded schema. How do I pull brand schema? So the make over here, we lose the extends const p extends string prefix. I would expect this file to fail right now when we run it for this one right here. So I'm going to try that. So let's do bun run, yeah. Unsupported template literal span. Oh yeah, we had to use TSX yesterday because it was non-empty string. Is there any other code in here? I would expect this to work, but we still fail. Non-empty string, that's over here. And make takes, you can delete this. All right, I just butchered this all again. Where does IT come from? Like, this is effectively what I want. So if I come in here, let me paste this again. And we're going to just delete this for now and that for now. And we come here, and let's make this that. close the right side. All right, so what are we doing over here? We have this shared module, we have this ID, which is type of ID.type, which is this thing right here. It's the schema, and it's a branded ULID. And let's just rename this as ULID, branded ULID. Right? All right, we've got this branded ULID. And it's got this type, even though I don't think this type is being used anywhere. It's not. Let's actually rename this to ULID, and we'll make this branded. Okay. And then we have this domain, which is weird. I don't love this thing. Like, I'm tempted to move this into here and then not expose either of these. And this would be this. And this would be everywhere we see domain, then we can change to ULID. And we can make this schema. We'll make it lowercase schema. Template literal parser. Maybe actually. Maybe that does look good actually. Const prefixed. Let's play with that. Prefixed ULID is equal to schema dot template literal parser, and we'll have schema dot literal. It'd be like recipe. In fact, we don't even need that. It can take a string. So it can take rec underscore and then schema.ulid. All right. Wait up a hold your horses here. Is this exactly what we want? But I can't make on it, which is probably fine. The thing I really want is to have, because you would want like a function that's like const make prefixed ULID, right? And this is going to take that and return this. And then this is going to take a prefix. So we'll name that prefix. That takes a generic. prefix is const p extend string. Hi, your thoughts about Amazon mass layoffs? Is it AI bubble? No, I think it's just corporations looking for an excuse to cut costs, and AI is a convenient excuse. So like if we did this, we did make prefixed ULID, and I did recp, and we can probably start taking advantage of some of what they did over here, where this instead, let's move this here. I'm feeling good. So we'll say template literal parser equals that. And for now, we'll return that. But what I think we really want is something like what we're doing. I think we want to return we probably want something like this. Schema.make, and we want the, let's say type T is, let's get our type slash on here. Type T is type of template literal parser dot type, and I want also the E. So we take that and we paste this here. We'll rename this to E, and this will be encoded. And let's jump back here at our 2/ there. So we have this, the type as a prefix to tuple. Template literal parser. Can I pipe this? Can I do schema dot encoded schema? Not quite. Well, actually, hold on here. Does this work? So we get this prefix ULID. Hold on. This is the schema. Why are we doing like this double branded thing here? This should just be dot branded. In the news they are portraying as if AI can code everything and replace developers. That's not even close to being true. Imagine AI trying to bring Amazon back online after the DNS outage last week. Like, AI is nowhere close to taking our jobs. And like, you can see this, like, especially in the fact that OpenAI is starting to focus on products rather than focusing on models. So like that tells me they're not confident in like AGI being anywhere close. And today, like, models can do like, yeah, it's just, it's not happening. Yeah, like you have no idea the complexity that happens behind Vercel's dashboard, and there's no world today where AI is even close to being able to make the systems that go on behind Vercel's dashboard. Like nowhere close. Having AI code up fluid compute. I'm more worried about the apocalypse, where Unix timestamps are going to overflow 32-bit integers in databases. I'm trying to retire before that. I think that happens in 2035. When will Unix timestamps overflow 32 bits? 2038. I don't want to deal with that problem. My goal is to be retired by then. Yeah, exactly. It's strange. So if I have this, so that's a schema. Can I do anything with this? I can't make. If I do const x equals schema dot decode sync this, and then this takes rec p foo. All right, console.log. We're getting close, chat. Where's my errors in here? Euclid schema. That's fine. We can do that, and then. All right. Great. Expected a universally unique lexicographically sortable identifier. Received foo. It's exactly what we want. Okay, so we're getting closer here. I want to copy this and throw this here. We can close this side. This is now just like solving a puzzle of APIs. Make schema dot the type. That is, A is, this should be encoded actually. Or actually, HODL. A is decoded, I is encoded. And we want to go from, okay, hold on. We want to make, I've got this. I'm feeling good. We want to go from a schema.schema. Or really, we can go from this, which will be prefix, underscore, and this can go from string. And we want to go to, let's just say string. Is that going to be good there? Yeah, it takes a function. And make, the second argument to make is the encoded. Or really, this is decoded, so this needs to be, in fact, yeah, we can do this. We can do schema.encoded, and we can pass in here E. And then this is going to be the encoded, which is going to be P wait, hold on. I'm also trying to understand what's going on here. Let's try, I want to try one other thing, replace Y. And if we do this, we should be able to do this. Change around that, change around double quotes. And this should be able to go to ULID. And Y should work. And this should run now. All right, we've got the run time.
Functions describe the world.
Decode. Oh, yeah. We want to like flip this. All right, that's fine. So if I do encode sync, and that's going to be pissed because it wants that random shit. All right. Template literal parser isn't quite what we're doing. This is close though. Like this is getting us to like close to runtime behavior that we want. That's the end goal. Right there is the type that we want. We've gotten to the type with some runtime stuff. Now we just gotta work backwards. All right. We have this template literal parser. And let's say we make a schema here. Let's put this below here. Const schema. We want to go from schema.transform. And we want to go from a schema.nonempty string to a schema dot type schema of template literal parser. The type schema gives us, or no, we want the encoded schema. Encoded schema. And here we have strict true. We'll have encode, throw to do, and then we want decode, throw to do. And this gives us I want to basically take this again, and now we're going to put this here. And this will be, I don't know, TT and EE. And this will become schema, and same here. Okay. And this would have 2. All right, so we have this schema now. If I return schema here, this should give us the same thing. What just happened here? And we actually lose some type information here. I really just want a schema. I want a schema. I want to go from prefix underscore string to prefix underscore string and the brand type, right? Like brand ULIT. Like that's what we want to get to, right? So if we have like this const schema is schema.transform, let's just start there, and we want to go from basically the schema.encoded schema of our template literal parser, and we're going from that to isn't this exactly? It's so close. It's so close. I'm getting so mad here. Schema.template literal. Can I do this and do the same thing here? Like that's what we want, right? Right there. Why do we need the template literal parser? That's what we want. That's like the exact schema. Kind of. But we want to go from a non-empty string, right? The schema would become then transform, changing that schema dot template literal, and it would be prefix, it would be underscore, but then it would be schema dot non-empty string, and we want to go to from to, and we want to go to our template literal parser, which isn't the right name, but like whatever. Encode, throw to do, decode, throw to do. All right, so when we encode, we're going from, what is this? Yeah, this would be our branded I don't know, encoded. I think we can just return encoded here. And then this is decoded, which is going to be, are they the same thing? No, it's with a string. Return template literal parser dot, we want to do like schema dot decode, and then that, and then decoded. What does this give me? Oh, it's an effect, right? We can decode sync just for now till we get the logic right. This is what we want, and then if I return X, this should satisfy. What's this want? This wants the What up, Kraut? I like ULIDs more than UUID v7. Argument of type is not assignable to prefix. Isn't that exactly what's coming in? All right, so when we encode a decoded value, it just needs to return back out and lose the brand. Here, we need to decode Hold on, I'm fucking confused. Yeah, you can. Okay, so like that's close to what we want. So encoded is that, and we just need to decode it with the template literal parser. Do we actually want... Hold on. We're getting close. I've been saying we've been getting close, but, you know, maybe we are. Parser. 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 Very good. Go here. That's not quite right. Okay, so the parser doesn't do anything. We just want to take decode oh boy, what is this clip? Oh yeah, very relevant. Yep, that's pretty accurate. Maybe it's decode unknown sync. Let's just try this quick. D2S, return that, get rid of that. And if we do type T is type of schema.type. That looks good. Now what about a type E? That looks exactly like the schema we want. So can I go here and say const schema dot schema dot okay, so we've got our actual schema now. Schema. We can get rid of this. And I think this should fail now. Let's just change this to X. We'll delete this. And this should come out as, yeah, that looks like we want. Oh, template literal span. I think this is what MS was saying, that I was going to have this problem. But if I change this to schema dot, will this work? No. Supported span types. F's in the chat for sure. I think we can still get close here. Because I think I could do, let's try this. Schema dot non-empty string dot pipe. And we can do schema. Schema dot starts with prefix. What do you take? How does filter work? Schema.filter. String.pipe schema.filter. It takes a function. S. We'll call this stir. And we can say this. Can I call it with stir? Starts with. Oh, I see. schema.uid. Is filter, how do we do starts with? I don't understand how starts with works. Starts with built-in filters. Okay, so we can just pipe. We don't need to call filter itself. And we can just say starts with, and we can say prefix, and we can say that, and that underscore that. Okay. I'm about to do some schema starts with and we want to go from we can't use this at all. And we can go, maybe we do want the template literal parser, right? And we can take u, and this is just going to be schema dot non-empty string. So we have a parser. And I think we can do in here, we need to transform this is so dumb. I hate that I can't use it's so close to what I want. We're so close. Like, this is it. I think we could just like lie about the type. Where like in here we could go to, this would be schema.nonempty string. And this is just a so right now, will this work? Why doesn't that work? Does this have to be a string? Yeah. So we could just do like I think we can do this here. Succeed. It's just we're gonna lose some type system information, but we'll get the runtime behavior we want, I think. That seems fine. And when we have the decoded, that doesn't even matter. When we do this, we have the template literal. We actually want to get what I was just doing up there, where this will be the ID, and we do yield. What can we do? Template literal parser dot return effect dot fun. Or how do we do this? It's like parse result dot map. And it would be schema. Wait, hold on here. Dot decode, and we'll take the template literal parser. And now this thing should be parse encoded Am I crazy, or is that the same type? Let me fix the song overlay. Append encoded. Oh, append type. Thank you. And what does this give me? This gives us that would be the ULID. Why is this upset now? I hate this shit. This is so annoying. I think we can schema decode unknown. And then we'll get that, and we'll say this is going to be underscore underscore ID. This will give us a string. We can get those, and then we can say const we'll say as any for a second. And this is going to be equal to yield star schema dot decode, and this will be schema.ulid. And then we pass ID, and then we return decode. And what are you? Parse error. Oh yeah, we have to dot pipe, and this is effect dot map error, and we get the cause, and then this is going to return a parse result dot parse error. Dot result. How do we do this? We did this all the time in let's jump over here. Z budget. We mapped, or no, we did that in the DNS project. DNS resolver source. Map error. Nope. We want to go to DNS in here. Grep map error. Don't we map? Is this the right project? No. God damn it. What was it? RFC? There we go, chat. This is the one. Map error. This is what we wanted. And delete that. And import that from effect. There we go. Parse error is... All right, I give up. We're gonna simplify. This is stupid. I thought we were getting close, but... let's just basically delete all of this, and we're going to simplify. Keep it simple, stupid. We just want to come in here, and we're going to create a brand. Recipe ID schema is going to be schema dot we can do symbol dot for recipe ID. And this will be schema dot recipe schema dot. Is that what we want? Is this gonna have the same problem? Am I just like recreating the same problem right now again? I think I am. Can I even do this? Is this gonna be the same template literal pipe? Okay, that seems reasonable. This would be the ID, and let's just say like, what does this need to return? How do filters work? True or a message? We should be able to do id.split. At there. And then we can do dot at 1. That should be the ULID, right? And we can do import is valid. And we say is valid. Really? And then we can do an or. Expected valid ULID. All right. So now this should fail now. It should be like expected valid ULID. Okay, chat, we're getting there. We're getting there. Just should have kept it simple. Dot ULID. And we can parse. I want to grab this same error message that thing gives. So like just quick schema.ulid, take that, grab the error message. And then up here, we can come in here. God damn it. The hell was that? View in there, paste that in, great. And then we're gonna come to the outside, replace that with string literals, same thing there. And then in that, we'll give that, and this will be the ID dot split. We want to make this a an actual function. Const ulid, maybe ulid. Do that, delete this, get rid of the comma at the end. This is maybe ulid. All right, so now we have this guy, and we should get a pretty similar schema. Paste that in. Expected user. Great. Perfect. And we can come here, and then we can do dot annotations, and we can call this identifier, and this will be recipe ID. And the description can be a identifier for a recipe that follows the form of rec p underscore ulid. And now we should get a even better error message. Predicate expected a universally unique lexicographically sortable identifier. Actual. Okay. Great. In fact, I think I can I put annotations on this thing? Filter takes options. All right, that doesn't give us what we want, but all right, that works for me. Can we make a recipe ID schema dot make what?
Functions describe the world.
This is the dumbest shit. Dot pipe I do want to brand it though. Oh, it's recipe ID. Sure. That. Brand. And this has the recipe. Sure. Recipe ID dot brand. Wait, this works? No. Wait, why did we lose our type information there? I'm so confused about what's happening. How is that any different? I cannot wait for effect 4. Schema is so hard to use, chat. Yeah, this is going to give us the same thing. Maybe this is okay, actually. No. We do want this. I don't understand how that type information gets lost there. So here we have this template literal. And now we have it with a string. But if we yoink this and we do this and we change this to recipe ID brand, this becomes, it loses the type information. So stupid. All right, I'm gonna wrap up and go eat some lunch, and I'm gonna take care of this ID bullshit this afternoon so we don't have to deal with it another day on stream. And yeah, we'll be back on Monday for another week of unemployed good fun. Golang view, sure, we'll do that. All right, y'all, have a good weekend.